Always remember, a penny saved is still worthless. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're going to talk about Bad Batch today a little bit. I don't want to go as super in-depth. We're going to try to keep this video as close to 10 minutes as possible. I know it's probably going to go over, but that is something that I have been really trying to focus on, is keeping video length at a manageable rate to be respectful of our times and of my click rate. Hooray for that. So, here's the thing, folks. Bad Batch are great. I just did make a video on all these different squads that are low cost, and this is the first one that we're gonna talk about. Bad Batch can hit way up in terms of gear level. You do need to put some Zetas on them, and you need to know how they work. You need to mod them a little bit. So I do have a faction essentials video to these guys about how to do more things with them and the mechanics involved and everything. I'll probably redo that one eventually, because this is an extremely complex squad, but it's really low level. Like there's only a few things you need to do to get it set up. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the mechanics and stuff. We can't go too in depth. And then I'm going to show you 3 different video clips of how this squad operates. So let's go do that. Let's first talk about, whoa, we're with the Bad Batch madness. So we're going to talk about mechanics here. Here's the thing. The squad operates off of true damage. That is probably the biggest, most important thing. So you want Hunter as the lead. I mean, he's the only one with the leadership ability anyways, but they do damage while they have they do true damage while they have defense up. Now, what true damage is, for those of you who don't know, it's damage that can't crit, but it also ignores defense. So it doesn't matter how much defense they have. If they have a bunch of armor or whatever, it just does a bunch of damage anyways. The other thing is the whole team starts melting because of Echo causing 8% damage every time someone's debuffed. So whenever a Bad Batch ally inflicts a debuff on an enemy, that enemy loses 8% protection, and then also they can lose 8% health as well. Obviously it doesn't work on raid bosses or Galactic Legends, because why would they? Here's the thing, you need Echo to be super fast. He's going to be the key to all of it. Starting that the hype train. Yay, we've been on Twitch too long. Hype trains are also fun. But starting the turn meter train, you want him to be the fastest out of all of them. That doesn't always have to happen, but you have to be very cognizant of how strong Echo, or how fast Echo is. I could actually get him another 14, another 20 speed on him right now, because we could add 2 more pieces of gear. Well, I mean, not right now, we'd have to farm them, but 12 from gear, plus another 2 for the boost from going from gear 12 to gear 13, and the speed mods and everything. And then on top of that, we could also get another 6 total from the mods here. So, I mean, we could get him another 20 speed almost immediately. That would be pretty neat. But 317, as long as he's fast enough. Now, the biggest thing for him, guys, I mean, everything hinges around Echo. You really want to take care of him. That's why he's gear 12 and the rest of them have terrible gear. You need him to be fast. And then the reason why is you dispel buffs, all buffs on all enemies. And that means foresight, anything. It all goes away. And it inflicts daze and healing immunity for 2 turns. Super nice. That's just amazing. It's like almost overpowered, guys. It is amazing. Here's the thing though, whenever you dispel all those debuffs, all those buffs that you dispelled give your Bad Batch allies 5% turn meter per buff. And so if it's a team with a bunch of buffs, like First Order for instance, you're going to be giving your whole team like 30% turn meter. Now, his Zeta is very important. You want Hunter Zeta, you want Echo Zeta. Those are two very important ones. Wreckers is also, those three are the ones that you absolutely do need. You want Omegas. The one that's not shooting her arrows is pretty good. It's decent. That one you can kind of forget. The tech one is nice because it gives you an extra 10 speed on tech, which he's the guy who has to bridge the gap between himself and Echo. Echo's going to go, and then tech needs to go next. So and he's not as fast. So if you can get him faster via a Zeta, that's kind of a nice thing. Otherwise, you can see the terrible gear levels that this squad has. We're going to jump to some videos right now, and I'll show you how it works. The other thing to keep in mind, guys, you want Omega. You need Omega for this squad because she helps activate. She gives an extra 2 stacks of Furious to Wrecker, which you guys can read all these things I'm referencing. But because that happens, and he has a Zeta, he can pre-taunt, which is very nice, and then he also starts with those 10 stacks of Furious, which means he can immediately do a 2-turn AoE stun, which is kind of overpowered if you really think about it, guys. I mean, at lower gear levels, he probably won't have as much potency, but Hunter gives him some nice potency, plus 50% just from the lead, and, you know, you throw some potency on him anyways from his modding, and you're good to go. So, once he does that AoE, he not only 2-turn stuns, he also gives everyone defense up, which in turn unlocks the defense up that's going on, or sorry, the true damage that's going on with the squad. So we've probably spent too much time on the mechanics already. Let's go watch some footage, and it'll be fun. All right. Whoa, we're in the footage madness. So the squad we're facing here, this is a classic Bad Batch versus First Order. You can see all of these buffs that they have, and it's pretty nice. Look at how nice they are. This is what, 6 total buffs that our team is going to be gaining 30% turn meter. Watch as Echo goes and dispels everything. Watch the turn meter on our squad here. So he goes, dispels all the things. Everyone gains 30% turn meter. Now Tech goes, he stuns everyone for 1 turn. Now Wrecker, because he has full Furious because of Omega, he's also doing the 2-turn stun. And then we can't gain any bonus turn meter as long as Hux is still alive, so we're trying to take him out first. But then keep in mind, Omega is also, when she's stealth, she's also helping contribute to the damage. And then the whole team is melting because of Echo's unique there, because they're taking those 8% damage every time you do some kind of a debuff to people. Then they start melting. The whole team does. So it's pretty fancy. Yeah, because Omega is also applying debuffs and everything. And so yeah, you can see that even though they're all Relic 7, this is a fully this is a guy who has Supreme Leader Kylo, and Bad Batch just melt it instantly. Let's talk about Geos now. This is a Geo team that only has gear 12, but it would work on higher level Geos as long as you're faster. So they start with, oh, hold on a sec. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know how jarring that was, but it got away from me for a moment there. So they start with 2 buffs that you can dispel. Obviously, we can't get rid of that Hive Mind because it's locked, but we can get rid of the Brute's Taunt and Spy's Stealth. So that gives us 10% turn meter on everyone when Echo goes first. And of course we get all those cool debuffs. So we got try to get the stun from Tech. You want to mod him for potency. Didn't get the stun on the Brute Alpha, which is worrisome because we don't want the Brute Alpha to dispel all of our debuffs. So we hand the turn back to Echo, who then calls a mass assist. So we're having Hunter hit their Brute Alpha to reduce its turn meter and stuff. So, I mean, the whole squad is just melting here, guys. It's somewhat incredible. And now, I mean, the whole team dies, and we get max banners. And finally, let's talk about Bounty Hunters. Now, look at this Bounty Hunter team, Scion of Django Lee. This isn't anything, like, too special, to be frank. Like, we're just being real here. But this team it does have full relics, and Bad Batch, I mean, look at the gear, guys. The gear is obnoxious. One thing to notice, though, I'm taking Moff Gideon here. We're taking Omega out, and I know they said she's really important, and she is. If you want to use Bad Batch, like people who take only 4, it can work, but Omega makes it a lot nicer. Here's the thing, though. Gideon is the guy who can at times, if you need to be a little bit faster. So in this case, we're not going to dispel anything with Echo. And so Tech is just going to not gain any bonus turn meter. So Echo wouldn't be the problem. It would be Tech who cannot actually bridge the gap. So Gideon instead is faster than all of them. And he can reduce the turn meters on the opponent's team, give you an extra boost, and keep us going on our way. So hopefully at some point my game self will actually push the button to go in and it'll work. There we go. Yay. Yay, yay, hooray. Let's see how this goes, folks. Spoiler. We're totally going to destroy them, because why would I show you guys an example of them being super ineffective? Okay, so get those debuffs out, and then now Gideon is going to go. I guess he wasn't faster than Echo, but reduce all the turn meter and everything. And then hand the turn to Hunter. Or rather, call the assist on Hunter. And I'm trying to kill Fennec, because Fennec is tough to deal with. She's a tough customer, man. She will kick you right in the nuts if you let her. Even if you don't let her, sometimes it just happens. All right, hand the turn to Wrecker so we can get a 2-turn stun and get that defense up on you. So that we're doing true damage now. Now, true damage looks like white, like the font in white. That's what it looks like. So when you look at the damage, yeah, everything flashed in white there. There we go. And if it's red, that means it's not true damage. It's normal damage. It's non-crit damage. Yellow is crit. You guys probably knew all that, but for those of you who didn't, figured I'd point it out. So this is a little more sketchy, just because not everyone started stunned or anything. We don't have Omega assisting at every point. But I mean, we're kind of getting there, slowly. Alright, we can stun the ones who have daze, or is it healing immunity? I forget which one. It's a pretty potent combo here, guys. Come on now, Gideon. Do it. Make it happen. Put daze, AoE daze on them. It's cool. Now keep in mind, these guys are all relic. My guys don't have a single relic. Not even Gideon has a relic. So, I mean, the fact that we are even in the same conversation with all these characters who are, I mean, that they're not amazing, but they all have a certain baseline of competency that is important. I mean, that's undeniable, and we're just treating them like child because we have such strong mechanics with this team. It's not about just brute force here. It can't be. It's all about finesse and having good game mechanics behind you. So, little sloppier because Gideon is not as good as Omega, but in some cases you need to go first, and he's kind of a cheat code for it. Honestly, Echo's one of the fastest characters in the game anyways, guys, so make it fast. So, anyways, we're going to call it good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Help me mount the algorithm. I would really appreciate it, guys. With that said, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.